Okay. Good afternoon, people. Good afternoon, officers. You're welcome to Education on Equity the Ambulance. My name is EMT Asaman. I'm part of the Bono Regional Education team. So today we'll be learning something about our patient's cardiac monitor, and it also serves at the same time as an AED. So we have here the Midray and Bernhard D60 patient's cardiac monitor, and it contains all the vital signs, so it records all the vital signs when you are taking care of a patient. It also serves as an AED or a shock device, or when someone goes to unconscious and then you want to sustain the patient or the client, it also serves as an AED. It has the shocking parts and then everything. So we'll be on in it to see the features. So we've on the cardiac monitor. This monitor contains all the vital signs. It displays all the vital signs on the monitor. So here we have the CO2, the respirations, the BP, and then the pulse. We can also see the CO2, that's the carbon dioxide. We have some monitors that does not have the CO2 vital signs on it, but this one, it helps us to see the CO2 whenever you're taking care of a patient and then the patient's condition is deteriorating. This machine will allow you to know whether the patient is alive or the patient is not alive. So we have the electrodes, we have the BP curve, we have the pulse oximeter, and then we have the temperature. This is the temperature. This is the pulse oximeter. This is the BP curve. And then we have the CO2. This is the CO2. Basically, the CO2 is often used on unconscious patients. So when you are transporting an unconscious patient and then you want to know whether the patient condition has been deteriorated or the patient condition is being stabilized, the CO2 will allow you to know whether your patient is alive or the patient is not alive. So we have the second part, we have the adult and then the pediatric. So this is the adult part. When you press here and then this one is for pedics, and then these ones are for the adults. And we have our AED parts. We have the AED parts. Okay, these are the ones that we have used. So let me show you some photos. Okay, these are the AED parts. These ones are for the pedics. These are for the pedics, and then these ones are for adults. And here is the connector. We connect the electro parts or the shocker parts to the machine before you start using it. But when you are using this machine, you should be very, very careful. It can take your life. When you are trying to revive someone, the person might be revived, but you can be going to shock. So when you are using this machine, you should be extra careful. And we have the ECG. It can also serve as an ECG machine. these are the gel that we use before applying the parts, before applying the AED parts. Then these ones are the cables that is used to connect the ECG or the electrodes. Okay, so basically this machine or this patient cardiac monitor, it does a lot. That's a lot. When you are transporting a patient and then you are using this cardiac monitor, you are very, very okay. But if you don't know how to use it, that's be the time or that will be the side you find yourself wanting. So you should be very, very, very familiarized with this machine. It helps a lot. It helps a lot. If you know how to use this machine, you are very safe whilst you are transporting a patient who is unconscious. So we know that the the vital signs, we know the vital signs, its normal ranges and everything. So when you apply the adult BP cuff on your patient, you should know the normal ranges of the BP. And then when you are using the pulse oximeter, you need to know that when your patient is going off, you know the kind of percentage the SpO2 or the oxygen saturation in your patient when the patient is going or not. At the same time, as I said earlier, using the CO2 is very, 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 very important when you're transporting patients who is unconscious, because this machine or this vital sign will allow you to know that whether your patient is alive or the patient has expired. So anytime you are trying to we are transporting a patient from different facility to from a referral facility to a receiving facility, make sure you apply the CO2, that is the carbon dioxide um, vital sign, because when you're transporting a patient and a patient, you can only see the this thing, the the SpO2, but what if you want to know whether your patient is alive or not? This this vital sign will allow you to know it, because when you're transporting a patient and then your patient is not breathing again, the CO2 will stop reading. The CO2, it will stop reading, so that you know that your patient is being off or the patient is still alive. So basically, this is some of the parts of the cardiac monitor. And then anything that you want to know about the cardiac monitor, this is it. Thank you for watching. Good afternoon. I'm part of the Neurology Education team. This afternoon, I'm here to educate you in some of the equipment in the ambulance. To start with, we are going to start with the patient or the cardiac monitor. We have two types of cardiac monitors. We have the we have the small one. This is to check the normal vital signs in your patient when transporting someone or when you're transporting a patient from one facility to the other. And we have the more advanced one. They are all in the same company, the same brand. That's the mid-range small cardiac monitor, and then we have the mid-range advanced monitor. So to start with, let's start with the small cardiac monitor. This monitor, it allows you to know some of the vital signs. Take note, it allows you to know of the some of the vital signs in the patient. But this big monitor allows you to know much or to see much of your patients. So this small vital signs allows you to see the BP, the SpO2, the pulse rate, the temperature, and the tox index. That's the PI. So this small monitor allows you to know only the BP, the SpO2, the pulse rate, the temperature, and then the PI, the pulse index. Whilst the advanced monitor, let me on it. This advanced monitor allows you to see the CO2, that's the carbon dioxide. It allows you to know the respiratory rate. It also allows you to know the SpO2, that's the oxygen saturation. And also you check your BP. It also allows you to know the BP. Your platelet, that's the person, there's a PI. And then it also allows you to take the ECG. You can you can take your patient's ECG using this advanced monitor. So okay, it also allows you to deliver a shock. It also serves as an automated external defibrillator. When you are transporting a patient or when your patient tends to unconscious, when you're trying to revive or resuscitate your patient, this machine can also serve as an electrocutor or it also serve as an AED. So this we have the AED. So this machine, one unique thing about this machine is also allows you to know the tidal volume when you are using the CO2. When you're using the CO2, this machine, especially when you're transporting an unconscious patient who is unconscious, and then you are transporting the patient with this monitor, I can tell you that you will be very, very, very okay when you're using this monitor because this monitor, when you will place or you put the CO2 on the patient to monitor the amount of carbon dioxide that the patient have. So if someone goes off, the carbon dioxide or the CO2 in the patient will allow you to know whether the patient is alive or the patient is not alive. So this cardiac monitor allows you to know the tidal volume, and we know that tidal volume also allows you to know the exact amount of carbon dioxide or the oxygen in the patient. It and also gives accurate. It gives accurate the amount of oxygen or the carbon dioxide in your patient. So when your patient is turning to priority 4, you know that the machine will give you a sign. The CO2 vital signs will show whether your patient is in tachycardia, that's the fastest heart rate, or the bradycardia when your patient's heart rate is being decreasing. So, and we know that when your patient is going, obviously you know that he's experiencing bradycardia. He'll be experiencing bradycardia. So when you're using this machine, it allows you to know that your patient is being alive or not. Moreover, it also contains the temperature. Okay, so this is the BP curve, the pulse oximeter, and then the temperature. And also the temperature. And this machine also allows you to deliver shock when your patient is unconscious and you want to revive. This machine also allows you. So we have the electrode parts or the AED parts, and we have our ECG. This is what we use to record the ECG, and these are some of the ECG electrodes. These are some of the ECG electrodes. So this machine is more advanced than the small machine. So anytime you're transporting the patient and then you're using this advanced machine, it allows you to know what exactly is happening to the patient. Okay. So we are done with the cardiac monitor. We'll be moving on to different equipment in the ambulance. So we have here the Sun Life automated chest compressor. Okay. Just a moment. Just a moment. As I said earlier, we are learning some of the equipment in the ambulance. We are done with the patient's cardiac monitor. We have the small type and then we have the big type. That is small type allows you to know some of the vital signs in the patient, and the big one also allows you to know much. It allows you to know plenty of the vital signs. It's more advanced. So we are moving on to the automated chest compressor. This is sunlight. In the name of Jesus, it's used to do chest compression. So when you're doing CPR, at first, someone or some EMS personnel will go to scene. The patient will be unconscious. You will start chest compression using your energy, and sometimes you get exhausted. But our able leaders have come to realize that sometimes when an officer or an EMS provider exhausts all his or her energy, you need to get external or different machine that will allow the EMS provider to do his work very diligently. So this is the automated chest compression system, Sun Life. It gives um, it's an automatic chest compressor. So we on it, we allow it to put. We have 8 straps. As you can see, we have a sign of a body on it, and then we have the on power or the power button, and we have how you're going to deliver your compressions. You have the continuous one, and you have the 30 chest compression. The continuous means when you are at one, when you are only, the compression must be continuously, and then when you are two, the chest compressions you deliver 30 chest compressions and then 2 rescue breaths. This is a play sign. So when you tap on the play sign, you get to know that the machine gives its rest. It's normal. It's an automatic. This one is automated. It delivers or it gives chest compressions. So 30 chest compressions, 2 rescue breaths. When it reaches 30, then directly or indirectly you deliver it rescue breath. So when you put it or when you place it on continuously, you play it, it goes directly. It gives the compressions continuously. Okay. So we have the straps. These are the straps it's used to. Straps really the ever go out. I'm out me enya or I'm out me enya agrabo machine and it would need panel family. So one day I'll bring a mannequin and then I'll place it on it to set an example. For now, we are just brushing through. Okay, so this is the automated chest compressor that's used for chest compression when you're doing CPR. When you're doing CPR or chest compression on a patient who is unconscious, this machine will allow you, it will help you a lot. It will allow you to regain the energy back. It also allows you for you to be able to give accurate and it gives the accurate depth when you're doing the compressions. Okay,